tan triste y no sabía qué hacer. Pienso que es mejor salir y ya no conversar con él. Va a ser así, con peleas constantes y repetitivas. Realmente prefiero no casarme y mantenerlo lejos de mi vida.
You know, the thing is as well with Anali, I believe that since the moment that Anali landed in the States and she went to Clayton's home and she saw that he was living with his mum and also the mum was living in a closet and also at the same time that there was pets all over the place. And also the fact that, you know, there were times where Clayton's mum was being awkward and I guess all that kind of stuff. I believe that around that time was when she probably decided that, listen, I don't know if I can go through with this because everything that has happened throughout since the moment that she landed till now, her actions have never shown that she wants to be with him. And also at the same time, Clayton's communication style definitely has not necessarily been welcoming. He hasn't really done enough to reassure that everything's going to be okay and that they are going to have a future together where it is just them two. And let's be real, throughout most of the season, Clayton only projected the fact that he wanted to sleep with her rather than, you know, make her feel comfortable in other ways that I guess can also matter because she did leave her country and she obviously left a lot of things behind. And I get it, you know, having the repetitive arguments, the repetitive conversations are definitely things that aren't nice to have. And therefore, when you're about to get married, these things make you think twice, make you think 3 times, you know, they make you wonder, should I really commit to this person? Should I really continue in this situation? So, you know, really and truly, if Clayton and Anali decide to get married, I'll be very surprised because their relationship has no strength to it whatsoever. The foundation is oblivious. I haven't seen it one freaking bit. So that's why I think in this episode right now, like, it's crazy because Anali has definitely got on my nerves throughout the season, but really and truly, I think, well, I don't think Clayton has to open his eyes to say that, hey, this probably isn't going to work. And I don't think it matters whose fault it is. I think what matters is what can be learned from it. And if anything, Clayton is probably the one that needs to learn more from this relationship than Anali because he's the one that is always stuck in his room, playing games, communicating with the same person all the time. So we know that when it comes to social skills, they are not the best at all. They are terrible. With Anali now, I guess for him, he needs to, the only way he can be with her is if he starts to understand her emotionally. And understanding emotionally is something that obviously he has been unable to do. Whether that's his fault or not is a whole different conversation because, you know, it is sometimes hard to connect someone who is emotional in certain ways. You know what I mean? And I don't believe Clayton is the right person for someone like Anali. You know, she obviously needs someone else who, let's say someone else who considers her emotions way much more, but also at the same time can also know how to put his foot down in the correct way. Do you see what I'm saying? Because she definitely has that submissiveness in her. Do you see what I'm saying? She wants someone to come in and take control. But Clayton just isn't that. But hey, let's continue. But before we do that, 50K, we're nearly there. 10 more days. Come on, we can make it happen. I know you want to subscribe. Otherwise, why the hell are you here? To check me out, right? So subscribe. Let's get it.
Encontrados, por eso es que no sé qué deba continuar con la boda. Sería botar a la lavadora más de 2 años. Tú tienes que seguir adelante.
Now here's the thing, she's obviously expressing how she feels towards her mother. And obviously her mother's saying, well, it's been 2 years now, so you should keep going forward. I mean, listen, I can understand the concept of the fact that she's put 2 years into the relationship. Yes, I do get that. But if it's not working, it's not working. Not every relationship is meant to work. Do you know what I mean? Now, of course, we can only have our opinions based on what we have been shown throughout the season. And obviously what's been thrown throughout the season so far is that Clayton hasn't necessarily been the best of partners towards Anali in terms of the fact that he threw under the bus, you know, in front of his friends, talking about the fact that they are not intimate at all. That was no need for that, you know. And also on top of that, he has tried to control her in ways that are just not in the correct ways. I listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting to put your foot down and say that you don't want certain things, but the way Clayton has gone about it hasn't exactly been the best. But at the same time though, the way Anali has gone about things also hasn't been the best neither. So we're dealing with 2 people who, one, we've got a woman who doesn't speak English, so therefore how she communicates with him is definitely always going to be very, very challenging, knowing what words to use. And also the fact that he doesn't know how to communicate in general makes it worse. So really and truly, the way how we can ever see this working is it's unlikely, even with whatever edits that have been made to obviously give us the entertainment factor or whatever. I just think with the things that have been said, the things that have been shown, a lot of those things probably would have been a red flag for a lot of people. No, forget that. A lot of the things would have been a deal breaker for some people. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, look at it this way. If I'm a woman or a man, whatever, yeah, I'm a man, yeah. But if I'm sitting there and I'm having a double date with my woman and her friend, and then all of a sudden she starts telling her friend that I'm this and that in the bedroom, blah, 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 and I'm there. You think I'm staying? I'm out. I'm done. I'm gone. That's a that's that. You know what I mean? So yeah, but we continue.
Soy una persona muy ofuscada que no piensa en ese momento y lo único que quiere es salir.
I really want to touch on that. The fact that she talks about sometimes when she gets confused, all she wants to do is run. Here's the thing. If you're with somebody and you still feel like you are in your normal habitat of getting confused by certain things, so therefore you want to do your normal reflex and that's run, sometimes, okay, it's not that bad because if you're with someone who can give that reassurance, it makes sense. But sometimes that also gives you a warning that maybe this person isn't the person for you. In this situation, this is a warning to say that Clayton's not the one for you because he's been unable to make you comfortable enough that you feel like you don't need to run when things hit the fan. Because let's be real, when people are truly connected, okay, and they truly have a connection, thinking about running is never an option. Thinking about making it work is always the option, okay? But also at the same time though, because I guess maybe running has always been her option, it doesn't mean that it can't appear every now and then. That 100% has a possibility. But the fact is, the whole season, all she's ever thought about is running at every situation, every single turn. And that has shown that her intentions to want to be with Clayton really aren't really there. She's not that fussed about leaving, really and truly. If anything, it kind of feels like as if she just stayed just for the show purposes.
This wedding may not happen today. She may not even show up. He hasn't seen her, and he hasn't heard from her. It's a little bit scary.
Anali told me that you're bothered by the bachelorette party. She doesn't want me to complain to her every day, which I assume means Anali.
So right now, you know, Clayton gets a message from Anali's mother. And you know what's crazy? Like, she's basically saying that you complain too much. You know, you need to lay off my daughter. You know, you need to let her breathe. You need to let her feel like as if, you know, she matters. You know, you can't keep going around as if she doesn't matter. That's what I'm getting from that message. But you see, Clayton now, he doesn't know how to understand it at all. Why? Because, well, he doesn't understand people, in my opinion.
I don't know what to take away from this message, really, besides, no, I don't know.
You would have thought, though, being somebody that lives with his mother, having a sister, you would have thought that he would have been able to know how a woman works to a certain degree, because they do say that men that come from households where it's predominantly women-based, they do understand women a bit better. That's why I guess they say sometimes those men have a better game of how to approach women because their women around them always tell them all the hacks and tricks, you know what I mean? But hey ho, I guess it's not the same for everybody, hey. But to be fair, I don't even know if that's even true, just what people say. I wouldn't know.
You know, like, I wouldn't even be worried about that so much if she had just said, like, something today, like, some fruitful message.
Not just read and not respond.
Yeah, like...
Tengo mis amistades, tengo mi familia.
The fact that she hasn't even reached out to him today. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Just cancel it all. Like, why are you here?
Tengo un trabajo. Realmente no me falta nada. Entonces, ir a Perú siempre es una opción.
And right there, she just listed a whole list of things of why she basically doesn't want to get married, why she doesn't want to live in America, why she wants to go back to Peru. You know, she's so focused more on going back to Peru rather than actually focusing on thinking about the wedding. Again, I'd be surprised if she went through it because it doesn't make any logical sense to me. You know what I mean? But hey, you know, Clayton just needs to recognize that he needs to walk away. That's just that. He doesn't have the tools to be with someone like Anali. He needs to be with somebody else potentially. But most importantly, he still needs to work on himself. 1000%. But that's just my opinion. And to be fair, if anything, he's definitely suited someone that's an extrovert, that's an introvert like him. But I think he needs someone that's actually even more introverted than he is, to be fair with you. That's the only way he's ever going to feel secure, if he's got someone that's more introverted than him. Not somebody that's a little bit more. I mean, I say that because he didn't even want Anali to go out and have a good time for her bachelorette party, right? There's a reason for that. And if he was someone who's a bit more extroverted than him, then he wouldn't have to worry about those things, you see what I'm saying? Because we know he's definitely got insecurities, and that's why he is somewhat controlling. But nonetheless, though, let me know what you're thinking down below and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.